start on page 15. Page 15.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Such a pleasure to share this space with all of us together and to also be here with the Cohen family celebrating the bar mitzvah of Ethan Cohen tomorrow morning. And if you're new to Temple Bethel, welcome. If you need a restroom, please feel free to go to where the top of the stairs are and make a right and go all the way down. There's restrooms there. There's a water fountain on the way. If you have a cell phone, which most of you probably do, please make sure it's silent or on vibrate so that we are able to really give our full attention to our service and our experience. And it's really fitting that the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat that we just started with said Romemu. Romemu means exalt or lift up. And really, when we come together for Shabbat, we have the opportunity to make this moment holy. We have the opportunity to say, I'm going to open to this moment as being different than the whole rest of the week. I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to give my full heart and soul to being here, being in community, being with each other, celebrating, and giving thanks to the one that makes all this possible. This is also a special Shabbat because it's the Shabbat before Purim, and it's called Shabbat Zachor. Zachor means remember, so it's the Shabbat of remembering. And there are a lot of different things that we can remember, but one piece that I'd like to offer up for our service this evening is that one of the main themes of Purim is that God is hidden. Right? In the Megillah, we don't have any mention of the name of God. And that was one of the reasons that the rabbis really argued, should this be a part of the Bible, the book of Esther, or not? And because God's not mentioned. And it's referring to this reality that so much of us in our lives live according to our schedules, according to the things that we have to do, and we aren't awake or present as much as we could to the divine reality that we're a part of, the miracle, the beauty, the depth that's present in every moment. It's hidden. Even the words Megillat Esther, which means the scroll of Esther that we read. So Megillah means scroll, and Esther, of course, is Queen Esther. But Esther actually also means in Hebrew hidden. It means hidden. Again, referring to that hidden presence of God that's in the story. And Megillah comes from the word megaleh, which means to reveal. So Megillat Esther, the scroll of Esther, actually means the revealing of the hidden. And on Shabbat, that's what we have this opportunity to do, to open to what is hidden, to open to the beauty and the connection that we're a part of, that's hidden from our eyes most of the time. So that's our intention for this evening, is to open to what is hidden. And on our first Friday, we also celebrate birthdays for the month. So if you are having a birthday in March, raise your hand. Okay,
Ooh.
Wonderful. Got a little something for you. Back in here, Sherry, wonderful. Awesome. Over here, great. So I'm just going to give a little teaching from Rabbi Nachman as a blessing to all of you who are having a birthday. It's a reminder. And also those of you who are online that are celebrating with us tonight. The day on which you were born, that is the day on which God declared that the world could not be preserved without you. Our lives are significant. We celebrate birthdays because our presence matters. Sometimes doesn't feel that way, but for those who know and love us, can sometimes see it deeper than we can. So blessings to you for this month.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. You didn't even know you needed it. It's like the checkout at Bed Bath & Beyond. All the things you didn't know you needed, right? Bed, Bath, and here's the Beyond.
I want to invite everybody to stand as the Gazar Cohens lead us in the welcoming of Shabbat. Now she'll light it, and we have that custom of bringing the light into our eyes, covering our eyes so that we can enter into that moment of Shabbat, and then the blessing.
אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Amen.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Beautiful. You may be seated. Please turn to page 11. It's close to the bottom of the psalm. Jeez. You'll find it the fourth line from the bottom. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo. All the fields will exalt and praise the one.
Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya. Let me hear you. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya, Ashiranu kol atzeya. Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 ay.
In our Kabbalat Shabbat service is kind of punctuated with Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Shabbat bride. And this setting of it will just take the last verse, which you can find on the bottom of page 19, Bo'i Kala, welcome in bride. There's this sense of Shabbat, this consciousness of being, of receiving, of being open, as being almost personified like a bride, that we are welcoming into our hearts, to our presence, and Bo'i Kala on the bottom of 19.
Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala. Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala, Bo'i Kala. לך דודי, לך דודי, לך כלה, פני שבת נקרא. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי, לך דודי, לך כלה, פני שבת נקרא. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. Bo'i kala, bo'i kala, bo'i kala, bo'i kala, bo'i kala, bo'i kala.
As we transition into the main body of our service with Baruch Hu, just want to acknowledge that some of us who are here in the sanctuary or who are online are here because we're saying, we're thinking about a loved one that we've lost, saying Kaddish for a loved one. And we just want to say to you, if you're here feeling the presence of somebody that you've lost in your life, we say, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem, may the Holy One comfort you, and may you feel the presence of the Holy One through this community as you're comforted. Page 23, please stand. Seated. Page 26, God of Creation.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro mariv aravim b'chokhma poseach she'arim. God of creation, makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of
go ahead and skip over to page 29 for the Shema. You may sit or stand, whatever is your custom, and we'll move straight from that into the Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך, ובכל לבבך, ובכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם ליוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי,
והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם.
אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Our next prayer, you can turn to page 39, will be an interpretive version of Hashkivenu, laying us down in peace, in love, in protection.
You can find the English on the left side of the page.
So page 40.
Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Try that with us. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Lam Shalom. Ve'havidenu, Shomrenu Lechayim. Frost Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai
Shabbat Shalom. So about a couple hundred years ago, in a little village in Eastern Europe, there lived grandmother Rivka. And she was the sage of the town. People knew that if they had any questions about anything in life, they could come to her and she would sit them down with a cup of tea and maybe a little cookie or a treat. And they would not only get new insight into their lives, but they would come back just feeling better all the time. Children would come to her for candy. Adults would come for advice. Well, one day, grandmother Rivka had a dream. And in her dream, she imagined that she saw that across the sea there was an island. And at that island, there was a palace. And guarding this palace was a big guard, just guarding the gates. And in her dream, the guard let her go into the palace, into the courtyard of the palace. And in the courtyard, there was a beautiful cherry tree and a shovel. And in her dream, she started digging a hole at the bottom of the cherry tree. And she dug until she hit some treasure chest or something hard. And she lifted it out, and it was a treasure chest. And she opened it up, and there were diamonds and rubies and sapphires and gold coins and toys and treats and everything good you could imagine. She just, wow. And she realized that she would be happy for the rest of her life. And then she woke up. And she woke up, but Grandmother Rebecca sometimes had dreams that came true. She knew this. She had the gift of prophecy. And she knew from this dream, it wasn't just a projection of her mind. She knew that there really was a palace, and there really was a treasure chest. And so she immediately packed up her backpack with all kinds of food and things she needed for the journey, and she put it on, and she walked 2 days. People knew who she was, took her in, all the way to the shore, to the ocean, where she hired a boat, and it took her all the way across the sea to an island, just like in her dream. She got off the boat, and sure enough, there was this great palace, just like her dream. And there was the big guard sitting at the palace, guarding. And she said, "May I pass and come into the..." He says, "Nobody comes through without the king's permission." She said, "Well, can you tell the king that Rivka is here to see him?" He says, "If you don't have an appointment, you cannot have any of the king's time." So she said, "Well, please, please." And he said, "No." So she kind of walked around the edges of the fence that went around the walls, the castle walls, looking for some place that she might be able to get in, but it was solid all the way around. So she comes back to the guard and she says, "Please, I beg you, let me tell you, I had a dream. Sometimes my dreams come true. And in this dream, there was a tree, a cherry tree in the center of the courtyard. And I dug and I dug and I dug and I found a treasure chest filled with incredible treasures and everything you could imagine. And if you let me in, I will share it with you." And the guard started rolling on the ground. He thought the thing was so funny. She almost had a mind, maybe when he was on the ground, she could just make a beeline for it through here. But he got himself up and she said, "What's so funny?" He said, "Can you imagine if I had a dream that..." I did have a dream. I had this dream that I went across the ocean in a boat for many day journey, and then I had to walk for another couple days, and I came to this house with this white picket fence and this little, and I walked in and there was this red door, and I went inside it, and there was a shovel right by the fireplace, and I started digging right in the fireplace, and I found this treasure chest. Can you imagine if I was as foolish as you were to travel all the way across and all the expense that it would take to do that and lose my position as guard of the castle just because of a silly old dream? That's hilarious. But what the guard described was Grandma Rivka's house with the white picket fence, the red door, and she said, "Thank you for sharing that with me." And she turned around, she got in her boat, she went all the way back, traveled for days, came back to her homeland, walked for 2 more days, came back to her white picket fence, opened it up, opened the red door, got a shovel from the shed, started digging in the fireplace, and sure enough, she hit something hard, and she brought out the most amazing, beautiful treasure chest inlaid with rubies and diamonds. She opened it up, and it had everything you could imagine, all the incredible wealth and diamonds and toys and candy and everything, just amazing. And she knew she found what would sustain her and what would bring her joy for the rest of her life. Because the truth is that all of that treasure, all of that beauty, all of that depth, we don't have to go outside for it. It's right here. It's in our lives. It's in our homes. It's in our community. This is where the treasures are. Sometimes they're hidden, like the Purim story, like hidden, and we don't see it. We think that we have to go outside to find that treasure. If I just get the next thing, or have the next experience, or meet the next person, or if my relationship with my son, daughter, husband was just a little bit different, if so-and-so didn't do this, then I could be happy. But the treasure's right here. It's right here. And this Shabbat, I hope, is an opportunity for us to open our eyes to what is sometimes hidden from us and be able to see the glorious divine presence that is shining through everywhere. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
We have an opportunity for a prayer for healing for those people in our lives that are struggling with physical illness, mental illness, or addiction. Take a moment, if you're online with us or here in the sanctuary, to just bring those people to mind that you want to direct your prayers for healing to. And we ask for a refuah shlema, for a prayer, a healing of wholeness, that they can feel connected.
Please repeat after me. Dear God of our ancestors,
Dear God of our ancestors,
help us renew our faith.
help us renew our faith.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Bring peace to all our days.
Bring peace to all our days.
El Restore our strength of body.
Restore our strength of body.
Help clarify our minds.
Help clarify our mind.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Refresh our tired spirit.
Rejuvenate our light.
Rejuvenate our life.
El Nar Refana Lanu. El Nar Refana Thank you for all these blessings
Thank you for all these blessings
throughout our days and nights.
throughout our days and nights.
We celebrate the journey,
We celebrate the journey,
this precious gift of life.
this precious gift of life.
One of my favorite customs that we have at Temple Bethel is to not only pray for healing, but bring a little bit of Shabbat healing to people in our congregation that are either struggling with illness and aren't able to be here or have just suffered a loss. And really, if you want to take on this mitzvah, this opportunity to share a little Shabbat light and Shabbat food, you can raise your hand to deliver a challah. There's directions, phone number, all of that afterwards on your way home. You can show up. You can give a call. You can say, this is just here on behalf of Temple Bethel. So this one is Aliso Viejo. Anybody just right here in Aliso? Oh, right in the back here. Fantastic. You guys were on it. Those hands went up. Thank you. And this is what you call running to do a mitzvah. This one is Lake Forest. Lake Forest.
Awesome.
Thank you, Stu. All right. Thank you all for raising your hands.
I'd like to invite up any of our kiddos in here. If you have not become bar bat mitzvah yet, come join me up here on the stairs for a second. Come on up. Come on over. Come on over.
Oh, wow.
Come sit. Come sit. My friends, we are about to, in just a moment, do a creative setting of a prayer called Aleinu. And this is all about creating the world that we want to be a part of. And guess what? You guys are the ones who are going to help lead the way. That world that we want to be a part of. So I want you to think about something that makes this world feel good for you, something that makes you feel safe. Does anyone want to share? Something that makes you feel good in this world that you are wanting to protect, something that makes you feel good and safe. Yeah.
Animals.
Animals. You want to protect animals too? Well, you are a really cute tiger. What else? Yeah, geez.
Life.
We need to protect life. And guess what? The people sitting around you, we get to protect each other. What else can we do to protect life and protect this world? What are things that you guys do at home, maybe? Somebody behind me. Yes.
You could protect the world by picking up trash.
Oh, yeah, we have to clean up after ourselves for sure. Keep this world clean, beautiful. Anything else? Yeah.
I have something at my house that is a train track.
It's important to find good things that make us happy and playing with our toys and taking good care of them. Anything else you guys can think of? Awesome. So it's upon all of us to create the world that we wish to live in for ourselves, for the next generation. So we're not always aware of these things, the impact that we have in this world. And so all of our actions go towards making this world a better place for generations to come. So we are singing tonight a creative setting of Aleinu to Matisyahu's One Day.
So you'll find Aleinu, the prayer, on page 64. And as Cantor Young said, most of the words will be to one day, to this song, but then we'll conclude with the last few lines of Aleinu. And you may stand.
I'm going to teach you guys just the chorus because you guys are going to help lead this with me, all right? Can you guys stand up? You know the chorus. Some of you know this. You can help sing even extra loud. We start one finger up. One day, one day, one day. Again. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. And I pray don't take me soon. 'Cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown. But I never let her get me down. Get me down, negativity surrounds. I know someday it'll all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There will be no wars and our children. Here we go. One day, oh, one day, one day, yes. One day, one day, one day. The Ne'emar, Behaya Adonai, Lemelech Kol Haaretz, Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo, Ushemo. One day, one day, one day. Again. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. You guys
Thank
can
you,
go have a
guys.
seat.
You may all be seated. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 73. And in our synagogue family, we're commemorating the following yahrzeits. If I say the name of your loved one, please stand in honor of your connection to them, whether you're here in the sanctuary or online in your home. Ira Adler, Raymond Eisner, Morris Aspis, Esther Blumenfeld, Henrietta Dax, Maheen Davidi, Sue DeLima, Paul Dennis, Francis Disman, Riva Dorman, Nellie Eisner, Joseph Epstein, Beth Urves, Chava Fackler, Hyman Fink, Dorothy Friedman, Hy Gerber, Solomon Gerlitsky, Maurice Gibbel, May Goodman, Arnold Goodman, Lillian Gordon, Yafim Chaim, Jack Hertz, Francis Joel, Harry Kahan, Bernard Kaplan, Harry Kirshner, Rabbi Alan Krauss, Maurice Labowitz, Samuel Lawrence, Solomon Leader, Abe Levin, Elizabeth Levin, Paul Levine, Leonard Lewinston, Ella Light, Helen Martin, Edward Maskett, Bill Matskin, Sadie Milner, Harold Norman, Charles Parmet, Rose Pazernick, Alan Perlow, Sonia Rappaport, Faith Resnick, Emily Rosen, Irving Rosen, Morris Rothberg, Ruth Sandler, Elsie Saul, Irma Seltzer, Joseph Shapiro, George Siegel, Max Simmons, Sylvia Squires, Simon Triper, Max Weitzman, Anna Wasserman, Dorothy Weisberg, Nicole Willens, Louis Wittenberg, Ida Zimmerman, Max Zuckerman. Anybody else that we're saying Kaddish for, please? Thank you. We're also continuing to remember Les Heinel. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You may stand or sit according to your custom for Mourner's Kaddish, page 73. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'miran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated.
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way, through the world's darkest days, be the light, be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you are darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. If we come close together, we will see a people strong, a shared humanity, to transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of night. We shine, we shine.
Please rise with us.
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way, through the world's darkest days, be the light, be the light, be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. We remain standing for Kiddush and Motzi.
We have announcements.
Oh, Announcements. All right, you can have a seat.
Can-
All right.
But I'd just like to ask if this is your first time here at Temple Bethel, please raise your hand so that we can see.
Welcome.
Wow, welcome everybody. Welcome, so great to have you. And if you're a member of our board of trustees, please stand so that we can acknowledge you. And if anybody has any questions or wants to know anything more about our synagogue,
right.
you can see. Look at this great leadership we have here.
Woohoo!
Thank you, guys. Tomorrow morning, Torah study is available every Saturday on Zoom at 9 a.m. And we are so pleased to be able to celebrate the bar mitzvah of Ethan Cohen here in the sanctuary tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. We are looking for, and we need your help to find greeters for Shabbat services, both Friday night or Saturday mornings. We need help with occasional administrative work, gift shop, front desk greetings and phones during the day and at school drop-offs, service honors, aliyot, Torah readings, high holy day preparation. We make our community be as beautiful as it is. And just as we read last week in our Torah portion, it was really the Israelites that would bring all of their contributions and their gold and everything else to build the Mishkan, the holy sanctuary. And so we do that not only with our funds, but also with our time and our talents. So please come. And as we know, Purim is coming. And Purim is Monday night, March 6th. And we're going to have a traditional Megillah reading at 5 p.m. from 5 to 6. We're going to have a community dinner that everybody is invited to, and it's free, but you do need to register on the website. And we also have an abridged Megillah reading at around 6:30 that is multi-generational, involving a lot of our kids. And then at 7:15, we have the big production of Mordechai on the Roof. So you get to hear Purim told through the Purim story told through Fiddler on the Roof, music and themes. It's going to be awesome. 7:15. Please register for the following events online. On March 16th through 18th, we have our Rabbi Alan Krauss Scholar in Residence, Rabbi David Ingber from New York. Incredible events going on, an online Thursday study session, a Friday night service, Soul Spark Shabbat service with dinner afterwards, and a talk that you do need to register for. And then Saturday morning services and lunch for the community that Rabbi Ingber will be leading in his Romamu style, what he does in New York style service. So please come. Our next World of Judaism class is March 28th, about Passover, if you want to learn more about the deeper meanings of Passover. And finally, April 28th and 30th is the B Sisters Women's Retreat. And now is a good time to register for that and get your space locked in. Okay, now
Special thank you to
Yes.
our musicians tonight, to Evan on drums and Carol on the piano and Kim
you guys
Gardner.
sounded awesome.
Amazing.
Cantor Young, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, would like to
up,
invite
Ethan.
up Ethan and his family to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. Want to invite everybody to stand.
Sorry.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu leShabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchelanu zichrachon b'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikrat kodesh zecher l'tziyat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ki otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvra'atzon, hilchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Have a sip. How was it?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
That was for you and your family.
Yeah, yeah. It really is. Yeah, there's that one where she was one song there where she